Okay, good morning. This is Dan Ringwald, and with the National Home Buyers LLC and National Home Buyers Investors Group. It is Saturday morning here, November 22nd, and we're going to talk a little bit about security on these properties. We do have real estate meetings held at Fest Parker Doubletree Resort once a month, and we have also doing these online meetings once a week when we can. We will miss some weeks, but we are here today, and mostly the meetings are meant for providing information that you can access at any point in time when it's convenient for you, so you can get kind of an idea of how to deal with some of these issues when you're dealing with real estate and properties. And you know, it's great if we have some people online. It's always open for people to come in and ask questions, network with each other. But probably more so with these meetings is that we're compiling some information. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you to learn, get educated, figure out how to do some of this stuff. And certainly I invite you to join me as a locator, property locator, private lender locator, cash buyer locator, distressed property. We are building teams of locators, and so they're locating all kinds of things and bringing deals to us, and we're sharing profits, sharing referral fees, doing all kinds of things here at National Home Buyers. So as we build these teams, we also invite you to join our marketing teams of Social Zing, because that will help drive income to you as well, because all these people that you're going to meet as a locator are all going to need to market whatever business they've got going on. So you're going to find out that being a member of both is really going to expand your business and your income as we move forward. So we're going to take a look at security for our properties today. We talked about that last week, that we might get into this a little bit. So I'm going to take a look. We're going to get into, let's see here what we've got. No one can see the screen. Well, how about that? So we've been sitting there with a blank screen. I'm sorry. You know, this happens. Current slide, we'll bring that back up. And let's see if we can at least bring up the current slide here so we can get an idea of what we had here. So again, security for these properties, meetings online, Fest Parker. Give you an idea, there's the websites, nhbllc.com and nhbig.com, which is National Home Buyers Investors Group, National Home Buyers LLC. There's the building where we meet once a month in Santa Barbara. You can see it's a beautiful place. It's got a nice little patio on the top up here that you can step out and look at the ocean, the islands, the harbor. So it's a great, great meeting venue. And the people that come there really do enjoy it. It's made a big difference in what we're doing. So that is what all that looks like. And now that I've discovered that we weren't sharing the screen, you know, that's one of the things that having people online helps, because they text me little things like, Dan, we can't hear you, or Dan, we can't see your screen. So it does help me there too. But I think we're good now. So people can see the screen. Okay, so we're good. And let's go take a look at this information on security. Security is a big issue, really, really big issue with properties. And the reason is, you know, you've seen all these movies about, let's see, zombies, okay? And you look at that and you go, this is so crazy, zombies. Well, wouldn't it be weird if the world was like that? I hate to say it, but there actually are lots of zombies out there in the world. And I can tell you how, if you ever want to see a zombie, or if you ever want to create a situation where zombies show up, all you have to do is have a vacant property, especially in the wrong location. You are going to see zombies with their hands stretched out, all coming to that property, ripping out the wiring, ripping out the copper, walking out the place with your AC units. there is just going to be a disaster happening constantly. And if you do not secure those properties, you're going to end up paying a lot for failing to secure them. Now, I've gone out and I've looked at a lot of different places, and you've probably seen the ADT signs for security in different places. And I did start off going through ADT, and I'll tell you, I couldn't even get through their first line of, support, sales support on the phone, because it was like they had people there reading from a script that had no clue. They'd only been there for 2 days. And I would ask them something like, well, video cameras, do you think that's a good idea? Oh, yeah, got to have lots of video cameras. Well, outside or inside? Oh, everywhere. And I'd say, well, what about the inside? Isn't that kind of like an invasion of privacy? If I've got access to that and I'm watching everybody walk around that rental property in their house, that seems like a huge invasion of privacy. What do you say about that? Oh, well, gee, we don't really know. It's up to you. Well, if you don't know, who does? You're the company that's doing this stuff. So I finally gave up dealing with people and companies like that, and I went on to find a company that I feel pretty good about, and it's called Front Point Security. I can be an affiliate for that and actually make a little bit of money every time somebody signs up. And I started down the path, haven't really quite cleaned that up and got there yet, but that's something you can do. You can be an affiliate because there's money to be made being an affiliate for different things that you promote. So I probably will eventually, but I'm just telling you this right now, mainly, whoops, we got Victor showing up here, and we'll tell him, hey, that's fine, we are doing the meeting here. Let me get my finger straight here, we are doing, I can't get my fingers going, NHB meeting now, in case he wants to join us. Okay, so we'll just let him know we're doing that. He's one of our locators and also on the Social Zing team and doing great, so I want to let him know. So in any case, I really do like this company because the price is right. Now, what they told me was, and the support was really good on the phone too. In fact, she told me that she was trying to get her mother off of ADT and into this company, Front Point. And so basically they had a special going on and said for $300, you can get 2 motion detectors and their main unit installed in a rental property. And if you sign up for 3 years, we'll give you back what was it, 200, 300? It was 360 or something like that. We'll give you back 300. Basically, what that meant was it only cost me $100 to have it shipped to me. I gave it to my contractor. I said, here, install it. And all I did was slap in 2 motion detectors, one in the front room and one in the hallway. And then they slapped up the control unit in the hallway. And that was it. It was like, a 10-minute job. We called up the company, set the alarms and everything. And then, of course, there came some advertising as well to put on the doors and the windows of the house. So big sign up there by the front door, signs on every single window, and basically said that we have security in the house. And the nice thing is it works with your mobile phones, your apps, your iPads, your iPhones, your Androids, your tablets, computers. And so if you forget to set the alarm and you're gone, you just pull out your cell phone, jump on the app, and turn on your alarm at home, and away you go, and you can look to see everything that's going on. We're going to dig into that in just a minute here. But that is, and then it was $42 a month. Okay, so why did I do this? I had a house, or I have a house that's in a pretty bad area. Now, I've got some houses that are in better areas, and they could be vacant for months and never have a problem. This particular house was in a, somewhat bad area when we got it, but the area has since in Memphis gone downhill even worse. There are some nice areas in Memphis, but this particular one was a little bit bad, and over the last 5 years is getting even worse. So the houses on either side of this particular rental property have been gutted by vandals. The zombies showed up and ripped out the wiring and ripped out everything on either house on either side of mine, and they even came and did the same thing to mine. Mine was so bad that I just said, I'm just going to file an insurance claim, which I did. filed an insurance claim, and you know, we got a lot of this stuff paid for, but we're talking thousands of dollars worth of work when all I had to really do was put in a very inexpensive alarm system. Now, this alarm system, it does have power. You do have to have power in the house somehow, so we've got it plugged into a wall outlet, but it does have a backup battery, and it will let you know, and it will text me a message on my cell phone and let me know that, hey, the power just got, you know, disconnected at the house, and if you don't do something, you know, we're going to have some problems, and probably you know, send off an indication to the police department. They're going to be out in about 5 minutes. So if the power's been shut off and you don't want the police to show up, which you have about 3 times per year that can happen without getting charged, but if it happens more than 3 times, the police department's going to start billing you for their time. So you can have a couple of mess-ups, but you know, that's not it. Okay, so he says waiting for organizer, and that's because he's probably not at the right location because he's got a bookmark. So I'm going to give him the bookmark here, and I'm going to tell him, okay, go, oops, gotta get the fingers right, go here. Okay, there we go, and that'll get him going to the right location for this meeting. I switched it on everybody and did the NHB LLC instead of NHB. So, you know, the price is right, the thing works good. What comes in the box are some signs along with motion detectors. So,
hello, Dan. Hello, everybody.
Victor, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. We're right in the middle of this thing, and I'm kind of discussing security with the national home buyers and how we secure these properties. So if you've got any questions as we're going along, just let me know. You can just, you know, break in. You might want to mute your phone or your microphone and tell Dan so we don't pick up any background noise, and then just unmute it and say, hey, Dan, what about this or what about that? I'd be happy to answer, and thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate that. So on the security, what happened was, you know, the place was getting broken into. It got the windows smashed open. People came in once, trashed the place a little bit, and stole the water heater. And so we came back, fixed the window, you know, did some cleanup, and then they broke in again and ripped out all the wiring, you know, made an even bigger mess in the place. So this time, of course, I got a different contractor by them because it wasn't being secured properly, and we boarded up the windows. We got the alarm system installed, and then we took the signs and put them all around the outside of the house. We also put up some Home Depot floodlights in the front of the house, the back of the house. The floodlights are powered with solar. They got little solar panels, so you don't even have to hook them into power any place. Even if the power fails, they're still operational at night if somebody happens to come up. So now what happens is somebody comes up in the middle of the night, and that's usually when the problems happen. They do it at night. The lights come on at the front of the house, and they go, uh-oh, we got lights, and they might probably see the signs on the front of the house, the door, and everything else. They sneak around the backyard, the floodlights come on, uh-oh, the place is alarmed. They're warning us it's alarmed. And there's wood now, not just windows, but wood on the windows. And if they did come into the house, they would set off the alarm. And they really don't know just how the alarm works. When the lights come on, you know, it could easily trigger the alarm, and it could send the police out immediately just with the lights coming on from outside. Or it could be set up for just the inside of the house. When the motion is detected, you know, the police will show up. And the nice thing is, on the zones, you can see where people come in. When I have my contractors work, I can see the first zone, which is the front room. It shows me that's been activated. The alarm's going to go off if they don't hurry up and turn it off. They go turn it off. And then eventually, you know, it shows also the hallway alarm went off. But they turn it all off before the thing actually signals the police, because you do have time to do all that. Since that stuff has been installed, we have had absolutely no problem with anybody doing anything. That is a very, very small price to pay per month, and to have it installed to stop thousands, and we're talking $5,000 to $10,000 worth of damage. So, you know, the house on either side of my house, for those investors not to get that it's a very small expense to protect these places. It's crazy. You know, they're just not doing it, and they wish they didn't have those properties. And if they secured them, and everybody secured their properties, we'd have a lot less problems out there in the world, and the zombies would just have to go someplace else. So, you know, imagine that these things were being taken care of by the security. That would be a really, really good thing. Now, my feeling is that insurance companies should be charging a lot more for homes that are not secure. And I've told my insurance company and other insurance companies, you know, you guys are paying out a lot of money, and you must be just figuring it doesn't matter to you because you're going to get money out of everybody else that are not filing claims, so you don't really care. But it would really save you money, and it would save everybody else money and make life better for everybody if you said, hey, your insurance is normally $500 a year in this property, but unless you install a security system that's hooked into the police department, we're going to raise that $500 up to $1,000 per year. Now, if you had a choice to either spend $500 on a security system or not, I think you'd spend the $500. And here, in my case, it was really only $100 because I got a 3-year contract, $300 off the top of the price, which was $368 or something, $42 a month. You add that up, you know, that is $400 per year plus the 100 set up 5. So now we're at basically that same price, $500 per year. I would way more pay that than pay $5,000 to $10,000 for somebody, you know, totally trashing the house. You know, the insurance companies don't get it, but you investors really ought to get this when you hear this, because if you need the security on one of your properties, it doesn't cost that much, and it's very, very effective. Now, the nice thing about this system is you can set it up so that it will do all kinds of things, and we're going to take a look at some of this. Here is the look of system is disarmed. Now, this is just their web page, so frontpointsecurity.com, and kind of an overview. And so you see on screen does it all. It shows you, you know, you can do it with tablets, you can do it with cell phones, you can do it with laptops. Okay, and don't miss a thing. You've got FrontPoint motion detector in the living room. That's exactly how mine shows up on my cell phone or my tablet. I've got the different things that go off to tell me what room they're in and what's going off. You can have windows set, you can have doors set. You know, when I talk to FrontPoint, I talked to ADT, and they wanted to sell me anything and everything that ever stood for anything with thousands of dollars worth of support. And when I talked to FrontPoint, they said, well, really, you know, the least expensive and most effective is motion detectors, and it just takes a few of them here and there. You can put things on the windows, you can put things on the doors, you can do all kinds of stuff. But just starting off, you know, go with the least expensive first, and if you feel like you need to add on, you can. So if you decide, well, we want to put a couple things on a few doors or a few windows, we can always add that later if you think you need it. Chances are you probably never will. But these different indicators will show you what's being set off and what's going on on top of it. Well, here's the video stuff. Yeah, you can see the people come in and out of the door. You can see your patios. You can see whatever you want. You know, it's totally up to you. If you're doing it for your own house that you live in, yeah, you might probably want some more video stuff so you can get a better idea. If it's a rental property, it doesn't make a lot of sense. No tenant is going to want to have you watching every move that they make inside the property. Now, if I'm paying for it, I will be able to see what's going on as far as entry and exit indications, not video see, but just, you know, text on the screen that tells me, well, the door was locked, it was unlocked. I can set up different codes for different people, like the tenants can have a certain code, the contractor can have a certain code, the property manager can have a certain code, the police department can have a certain code. I mean, you could, I think there's like 10 different accounts that you can set up for different people. And you don't have to set them all up, but you can set up whatever accounts you want to for whoever, and then they can look at these different things on their cell phone, tablet, laptop, and very, very handy, okay? Light it up. Comings and going. Goes where you go, yep, because you've got your cell phone with you and you've got total control. So let's just go look at mine for right now. Okay, we've got National Home Buyers Investors Group. This is the login page. Okay, it shows you a little bit of information here, resources and different things, and we're just going to go ahead and log into the system to see what it looks like once we get inside. Okay, so the thing is armed. You can see it's armed, and if you wanted to disarm it, I'm in California. If I want to shut down my alarm system in Memphis, Tennessee, all I have to do is click on disarm, and it's disarmed. You notice on the right-hand side now it says do not reply, Daniel system. The website account was logged into successfully by NHB at 2:23. Now 2:23 is Memphis time, because if you can see down below here on Saturday the 22nd, we're at 11:24. 11, 12, 1, 2. So we're 3 hours different. So that just gave me the time in Memphis that I logged in. And down below here, it's already showing me my logs here that I logged in. And if I want to go back and take a look at a history of what's been going on, I'll go over to history. Okay. And we're going to go back to, let's take a look at November. Let's go back to October the 1st, okay, up to right now, because we've only got 2 entries right now, and let's click on go, and it's going to run back there into my logs, and it's going to show me, well, what's been happening. Okay, at the very top is the most recent, and as we go down to the bottom, it's in the past. So when was the last time that house was walked into? We're just about ready to rent the place. You can see the last time somebody walked in that house was on October 30th. So we're at the 22nd, so we're talking 22 days since somebody's walked in that house. That alarm has been on and idle and just waiting for any slight little thing to happen. If it does, it's going to set off an alarm on my cell phone. It's going to email me. It's going to text me. And if I don't get back and deal with it within a certain amount of time, we're going to have the police show up. Well, we've had no alarms, nobody bothering the place. Police hasn't had to show up. But we did have my property manager go in there on the 30th, and they did disarm it so they could walk through it. And as you look at this, you can see the different things that are going on. We can come down here. We can look at this. Let's see here. And we've got, actually that was my contractor was in there doing some work. Idle, 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 in and out, disarmed, 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 failure. Okay, so now you see down here power failure, power restored. Well, that was because he was taking it off the wall and doing some work with the control unit. So these give you different ideas of, what was going on here. And, we can go back even farther in time, but that pretty much shows you the different things that were happening back when we were kind of cleaning the property up. And since we got it cleaned up, we got somebody move into the place on Monday. They will move in, and I will not charge them for the alarm system. That will be part of moving into this particular house because it is in a tougher area. So I said, hey, I'll even pay the $42 a month. We'll help keep you secure. If you're in the house and anything happens, you push a button, the police will be there in 5 minutes. If you go to work and you forget to put the alarm on, you just pull out your cell phone, push a button on your cell phone, and your place is armed and going. Okay, mobile access. So here's some of the things that you can use to be able to see what's going on, control what's going on. Stuff works really well. I'm thrilled with this front point security system for my rental. Almost makes me want to get one for my home here. We do have some alarm system in here, but this is pretty nice. This is very nice. I like this. So we've got that. We've got profiles. We can set up the different profiles here and how people are coming and going and what they're doing, whether they're mobile or whatever is going on. Logins, log-offs, notifications. Here's the different types of notifications. Alarm, breached, alarm, action, all times. These are different ways. Forgot to alarm system after 5 p.m. There's just tons of different ways that you can set this thing up to do different things. If you want it to come on at a certain time, you want it to go off at a certain time, there's so many different ways that this thing can be set up. It's crazy. So you give your tenants a certain amount of access that they can use the system with, but not full access. You give your property manager a certain amount of access, but not full access. monitoring stations. This is back to front point. Notifications. Again, there's the notifications. Security. We'll come over here and take a look at a little bit of the security. Front room. Right now I've got a front room and a hallway motion detector. So that would easily, and I can tell when somebody comes through the front door, it shows me up the front room went off, and then they go to the hallway. Up, hallway went off. Oh, they just disarmed the thing, which is good. This just shows you the entrance and what's going on. So sensors, you can set up all kinds of sensors on here. You know, you just keep adding to this and doing all kinds of things. Control panel settings, on and on this thing goes. This is amazing what it will do. And, you know, once you have a few properties that need something like this, you know, you can move it too. Like, let's say you get the place rented and you tell the people, okay, it's rented. We're now going to take the security system out of the house. It's totally up to you to pay for a new one. You can easily have your contractor come in there, pull that unit out. It's a 5-minute job. Pull the motion detectors out, stick them in a box, go to another property, plug them into a different vacant property. So that is all very mobile, very easy to do if you want to do that. I'm thrilled. I think it's wonderful. And let me just come back over here for a moment and see if we've still got Victor on to see if he's got any questions. We've got Victor there. Hey, Victor, you want to unmute your thing there and give me a little heads up what you think here so far?
Yeah, this is definitely great.
Isn't that amazing, all the things that this will do?
Yeah, I would definitely use this if I had some properties.
Yeah, and you know, I was surprised. I really, you know, the people that we had living in this rental property never had a problem in the neighborhood, never had a problem with any neighbors. We have had people come to rent this particular property and say, well, I don't know, this looks kind of scary. We've got a house to the left and a house to the right that are totally gutted and people have ripped it all up, and I'm not really sure if I want to live in this neighborhood. Well, you know, the people that lived there before never had a problem. The neighborhood, I think, has gotten more difficult as time went on, but they've also now got a security system that they can, you know, push a button in 5 minutes, the police will show up. But since then, the place has been vacant now for 20 days, and this thing has never gone off. We've never had a problem. So between the very inexpensive Home Depot, what do you call it, Home Depot motion detector lights, they're up there on the roof. They've got a battery that charges. The solar charges the battery, and at night, if anybody moves around the property, those lights come on. That makes people think seriously about messing around with a house that has signs everywhere that says house is alarmed, and it's already showing indications outside the house that something's being detected with their motion. So people just don't want to mess with it. You know, they're looking for the low-hanging fruit. They're looking for the property managers that aren't managing the properties properly, or the owners that aren't managing them properly. And they're just going to go in there and steal the stuff and gut it, and away they go. So it does not cost very much to protect these properties. And so, you know, again, I think the insurance companies would do everybody a favor. As much as we all hate insurance companies and the price we have to pay, you know, if they're charging you $500 a month, I would be all for them charging you an extra $500 a month and make it $1,000 a month if you don't secure it. And if you do, and they can see it's secured, then they're going to knock $500 right off that yearly price. I'd be all for that, because it would force people into doing something very inexpensive and stop a lot of what's going on, because these neighborhoods get ripped up and they degrade and the values go down and the crime goes up. So, you know, it doesn't take that much to secure them. This would really, really enhance the value of neighborhoods, stop the crime, push the crime back into places where people aren't securing it. It's a great thing, great thing. So we are probably about as much as we can do here. I'm going to come back to Victor again, and we're still recording this. So let me unmute you, Victor, here, and just say, you there, Victor? Okay, Victor, if you're there, go ahead and unmute. Yeah, I can kind of hear some noise in the background, Victor. So if you want to talk, you're on. And oh, that's okay. You can go ahead and disconnect it or put your microphone back on. I just want to ask you, Victor. So as you're talking with these people about different properties, this is another thing that we'll talk to them about. We'll talk to them about security. And I want to ask you, Victor, now that you're a locator and you're locating properties both in California and outside of California, and you're starting to also combine your socializing marketing with this, why don't you undo your microphone and just give me a little sense of what it's like to now include the marketing aspect of socializing while you're locating properties and dealing with these people. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's definitely great and offers, a great opportunity for people to get involved for their marketing and, just start out with real estate and then end it with how their marketing's going. And I send them the information. They like it. Some people need a little bit more assurance. They watch the videos. I answer as many questions as possible, and I ask you if I don't know the right answer. And it's been going great, and I'm going to be closing in pretty soon on signing a couple people up.
Excellent, excellent. And let me ask you something. Now, when you first started off with socials, then you could see that, there's a lot there, a lot to learn. Do you see the ability of a business within a business, meaning that you could actually earn income from helping set people's marketing stuff up and kind of do that business for them and charge them for your time doing that? Is that something that you think you might eventually do?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Once it gets to that point,
okay.
That'd be great. I'm just, digging into the system deeper and just trying to get as much as information down as possible. That way, when someone asks me a question, I can be properly prepared.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Excellent. And again, in the beginning, when people are just asking questions about whether they should sign up and be a member or whatever, the best thing to do is just give them the video, let them look at that, answer a few questions afterwards. But once they are signed up, that's when you, Victor, and me, and Michael, and anybody else who wants to do a business within a business needs to start going back and looking at all the tutorials, looking at all the videos, looking at all the information. I haven't even dug into the socializing aspect of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Michael's gotten into that a little bit deeper than I have, so I couldn't even tell somebody what to do if I wanted to, because I don't know enough about it. But we all have to dig into it and learn it, and so as we do, that's going to expand our ability to help people and actually charge them for our time so that we are doing a business within a business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good that you're considering that and that you will head that direction as well. So, anybody that's having a hard time looking for employment out there, geez, here you go. Create your own job. Create your own business. Create a business within inside of a business so that when you share this with people, you say, hey, look, this isn't just about marketing your business or marketing their business. You actually can create a business within a business, becoming somebody who knows more about this and charging for your time, which is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
So good, good. I'm going to go ahead and I think we'll call it a day on our front point security systems for single-family homes. This will work just as well for, duplex, triplex, apartment complex with 100 different units in it. You name it, this thing would expand however you want it to expand. So this should be a good, kind of starting point for people that need security, whether it be rental property or your own personal house. Victor, I want to thank you very much for making the meeting. And
no problem. Thank you, Dan.
Okay. Once we hang up here today, I'm sure I will hear from you because you're doing a great job on the real estate side and the socializing marketing side, and that's really how you get, good at this business is do what Victor does, and that's just get out there, talking to people, call them. You don't physically have to show up, but that works too. It's good. And then just keep getting back to me or whoever signs you up to do whatever so that you learn more and just keep building the business.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you, Victor, very much. I will be here later on today when you want to give me a call, and we will keep doing what we're doing. It's picking up. It's looking good. And you rock, Victor. You're doing good.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. You have a great day.
You too. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Goodbye.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the